All right, guys, let's move on. We're going to talk a little more Browns in a sec. We got to give the Guardians some love, though, because they are red hot right now. We'll talk Guardians, brought to us by Upside. Are you still paying full price for gas? Well, stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or on Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump. Use the limited time promo code touchdown to get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying gas you already needed. I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Don't let this offer drive by. Download the free Upside app now using promo code touchdown for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That is promo code touchdown. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Guardians swept the White Sox this week, guys. The issue is the other teams in the wild card race alongside Cleveland, they keep winning too. They're 2.5 games back in the wild card, half
Texas
a game behind
did lose
Texas,
yesterday,
and Houston has that final spot. But, how you feeling about the Guards now, who are winners of at least 3 in a row? Is it 9 of the last 10? And they take on Detroit starting tomorrow.
I got to tell you, I got to give them a lot of credit. I'm not a huge Steven Vogt guy, because I hate how he's used Kyle Manzardo for most of the season. And I want him in the lineup for every game for the final, 13 games?
Yeah.
I want him.
Correct.
I want him in. Stop batting C.J. Kafis 8th. Why is he hitting 8th?
I know.
Guardians have the worst 5, 6, and 7 in the history of baseball. Besides that, but despite that.
Well, yesterday, Bo Naylor beat the White Sox by himself.
Got his monthly big game.
Yeah, well, I'll take it.
He got the batting average up to a solid 180.
With that home run.
Yeah. He had 3 ribbies.
He missed catching that by about 3 inches.
This guy's third on the team in homers with 12 homers. 35 RBIs. But anyway, I don't want to dwell on the negative. I want to dwell on the positive. Positive is they've won 9 of 10. The positive is they're, for the most part, pitching their ass off. The positive is Cade Smith looks like a really good closer right now.
Yeah.
He's barely given up any base runners lately after some, troubles early when he first took over for Class A. They're playing so well right now. I thought they would completely fall apart down the stretch and finish under 500. They are not going to finish under 500. And as big a long shot as it is, the division's in play.
Say it.
The division. Now, they have to sweep all 6 games.
100%.
All 6. Can't win 5 of 6.
And that would still put them a half game behind the Tigers.
And that would still put it, at least.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It depends. But there's games in between.
Sure. No, yeah.
Right.
Just look at the 6.
Just those 6.
Yeah. And
Crazier,
they're not going to do that because
they're probably
Detroit
not.
Has who?
Although Scuba got hurt.
No, wait. He's not going to miss anything, though, is he?
Is he not going to miss any time?
No.
He's scheduled to pitch Thursday.
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't bad, but
His
he is good.
MRI came back clean.
He's good.
All right. They're lucky there. But you know what? He's not unbeatable, as good as he is. We beat him in the playoffs last year.
I don't know
deciding
how they
game.
did that.
So, Guardians, you want to shock us and shut everybody up that like me that was ripping you early in the season? Let's go. Win all 6 against the Tigers. But either way, you got a chance. Now, the Mariners are playing great and the Rangers are playing great.
Yeah.
The Astros are not playing very well right now, but you got to pass
like a rock.
If you can't catch the Tigers, which obviously is unlikely, you've got to pass 2 of the 3 teams.
Boston's in play.
But yeah, and you play Texas those last 3 games of the year.
It might come down to that.
Yeah.
That could be a big series.
Now, if I had to bet, the odds are 2.5 games is a decent amount this late in the season.
It is.
It's not impossible, though.
The other thing is, and we've talked about this on the show, it's not just the gap.
Yeah.
It's the number of teams that you have to overcome.
Right. You have to overcome 2 teams.
Yeah.
Unless you take care of business with the Tigers, which is going to be very hard.
Now, finally, you can exhale with the Rays and
Rays and Royals are done.
Right. You can finally exhale on those 2. But you still have to pass 2 teams. You can't just pass 1. That gets you in the 4th spot. You got to pass 2 teams. Is that possible? It is very possible. I wonder if you can answer this question for me, Jay. Whose decision was it to go to the 6-man rotation? Was that Carl? Was it Voter? I don't know who made this. I imagine ultimately it was a group decision. What I would love to know was who raised their hand and said, I've got it. Let's give these arms. All these guys are at career highs on innings.
Yeah.
I could see this coming in August, or in late July, early August. I said, we're going to be in for a rough September because these guys are all going to max out on their innings. Somebody, maybe it was front office, I don't know. Some smart individual raised their hand and said, let's go to a 6-game rotation, a 6-man rotation. And most teams couldn't even think of doing that. You've got 3 good starters.
Somebody else just did that. What other team just did that? Somebody else just did
Houston
that.
was doing it for a while, but they've had some injuries.
I think there's a couple
the
teams
Mets
this year.
The Mets are going.
Hasn't worked out
That's
for
not the
Mets.
one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
They're not playing well.
No, they're playing
I'll
awful,
tell you
but,
who's-
but
I feel like there's a couple teams this
the
year. that have
beauty
done
of it
that.
I will tell you.
and it's probably going to become a trend. I mean, if you've got the depth to do it, then do it.
That's hard to have the depth.
Nobody does, but
Yeah.
this team does. And what it does, Bull, and you'll understand this because you're stretching. Obviously, you're stretching everybody out another 24 hours. When you're talking about recovery for pitching, and you're on an every 5-day routine of literally tearing tissue in your elbow and your shoulder, and your body is rapidly racing to repair that. Yes, it can repair it in 3 days. You start to feel stronger. 4 days you can throw strong. Why in the playoffs they always show this stat? Well, on 3 days rest, he goes from a 3.1 ERA to a 5.6.
Yeah.
There's a very science reason for that. Your arm isn't ready to go yet. So if it's a negative impact that way, it's a positive impact when you give yourself a full 24-hour cycle extra
Yeah.
for all of that torn tissue in your elbow and your shoulder to repair. I've done it my whole life. I know that when I miss a week and I come back and I'm on 14, I tell my catcher, I go, I'm going to put you through the backstop. I feel like I can throw 100 miles an hour.
No.
And I know, and I'm old. These guys are young, but they still need that extra day. So the decision to do that is save their season, in my view. Their starting pitchers, every last one of them, are going out there and giving them a great effort. Now, what sucks about this is we're off today. They play tomorrow. Casey Mize is having a great season. So right off the bat,
Yeah.
but it's a winnable matchup. Cantillo, he's looked great.
He's terrific.
Yeah.
He's looked great. So and the formula the last couple of games has been the same. It's 2-1, 1-0. You pick up a run late, and then Cade Smith comes in and slams the door. I don't think that's going to be possible against Detroit. You're going to have to score more runs against Detroit.
Yeah, and I know you can talk about Clase all we want, but where would the Guardians be if they had traded for a legitimate bat? Or gotten a legitimate bat.
I know.
Which is the Mets are the only contending team that's running with
Houston-
the six.
I thought it
They
was
were
Houston.
for a little
I think
bit,
Houston
but
did it for a while. Out of
they've had
necessity.
so many injury
They had
issues.
to.
See, the problem with the six-man rotation, I don't know if the Guardians are in this position, but let's take the Tigers.
Yeah, I know
You
you
want
guys-
Skubal out there
Right,
as much
right,
as
right.
possible.
Listen, if you've got a Skubal type, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because you need him out there as much as you possibly
Yeah.
can.
The
especially
Dodgers
if you're
would
in a
do
race.
it but they have so many injured
But
pitchers
here's the
right
thing,
now.
guys. Answer this question
Yeah.
with 100% certainty. Who is their ace?
They don't have one.
Yeah.
And that's why you can do it. If you had, if
I
Gavin
think
Williams,
Gavin Williams is
Gavin
their
Williams
ace.
is the guy that I would say,
But he's
if
not
I'm going to a
Skubal.
playoff
Yeah.
series and everybody's on rest, then he gets the ball. But, I don't know there's another team in baseball that can say you could throw any one of 3 or 4 guys out there. And now, obviously not for the whole season, but these guys are pitching lights out. Carl's a genius. Carl is to pitching coach what our offensive line coach, Callahan, was to that.
I disagree, Jay.
Oh, I think
There's
he's a genius.
No, not about him. I'm just saying there are other teams that could throw 3 guys out there.
There are, but not that are 78 and 71. What it drives home to me, Bull,
Yeah.
is, and you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Our offense isn't bad. It is historically bad.
Oh, God. it's
Your
horrible.
number 3, your third most potent bat in the lineup has 12 home runs and 35 RBI, and you're in this thing. Why?
Yeah.
Because you've got 5
Well,
starting pitchers, 6
right.
that you can throw out there and say, God, we got a chance to win. All we got to do is score 2 or 3.
The Guardians are like a better version of the Browns. Like, great pitching,
Great
can't
defense.
no offense.
Yeah, right.
No
You're right.
offense.
You're right.
And, Jose's doing his thing, having another really good year. He's going to finish top 6 of the MVP, as he always does.
Yep.
Manzardo's had a nice season. Obviously, even Quan hasn't really had a good season. He's been okay. Second half, he's been lousy.
Well, he made a great catch yesterday
He did.
that probably ended up having an impact on the game.
And I think
because if he doesn't do it, a run scores.
And I like the potential that Kafis has shown. I don't like anybody else in the lineup. Nobody else
I
does
don't either.
anything for
No,
me.
there's very little going on.
So,
there.
I mean, to me, they have 5 holes in the lineup minimum going into
And
next
so
year.
that's my point.
Yeah.
I know that there are probably other teams that could throw 3 starters out there, and you got a really, really good chance of winning. But with this offense, what they've pulled off,
Yeah.
with this offense, guys, I'm reminded every
Yeah.
day when I can look at the whole thing and see all of the numbers. Yesterday at the ballpark, when they put up the starting lineup, I looked at it and I'm like, how are they doing this?
I mean, go back to Hosey. Can you throw Hosey stats?
Hosey's
up?
not having a Hosey year.
I mean, look at his RBIs because
Yes.
nobody's on base.
Yeah, but
Nobody
that's
gets on
not his
base.
fault.
But I'm
No,
not
I know,
saying
I know.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, your best player is 77 RBIs.
And he got
It's
20
unheard
home
of.
runs.
It's unheard of.
Can you guys guess? I was just looking this up. Bo Naylor, you're right, is third on the team with 12 home runs, Bull. Who do you think's third in RBIs?
Quan.
No, because he hits leadoff and 7, 8, 9.
Oh,
have been
I know who's
historically
third in
bad.
RBIs. It's Carlos Santana.
I was going to say
Nailed
that.
it.
Yeah, gone.
Do you know who, if you take Santana out, who is third?
Well, Manzardo is second.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Rocchio, I saw, was getting up there quietly.
Rocchio is 1, 2,
Gabe Arias.
6.
And he was in the minors.
I'll say
Arias,
Quan.
Arias and Quan are tied for third with 48
That
RBIs.
is
How
nasty
many?
work.
48.
You got two players on your roster with more than 50 RBI. You're in the pennant race, and it's mid-September.
I don't think Santana's gotten one hit for the Cubs. Not that he's played much.
And
but-
the other thing about Carl Willis, why I say that about him,
Yeah.
like if you would have just put a blanket over the names and figured that we were here and not known anything about the past, you would say, oh wow, Bieber and McKenzie must have really hit their strides, and they must be A+ front of the rotation guys, like in the Cy Young category.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are out of the mix, and Carl has taken 6 guys. And I'm telling you, these changeups that these guys are throwing, I give that to Carl. They're throwing like plus quality changeups.
And even Bybee, who was their best pitcher last year, has been the worst of their pitchers.
Yeah.
He has been. You're right.
it
I
is-
think you're right. He has been.
He was bad. Last start was good, but
To your point about
great.
Carl, and I've mentioned this before, teams have raided Cleveland trying to find the secret sauce to their pitching.
It's Carl Willis.
And Ruben Niebla left, went to the
Yep.
Padres. Matt White is Yankees pitching coach. Teams keep coming to Cleveland like, we got to figure
What
out
are you
what they know
doing?
about pitching. We got to take their guys.
Yeah.
And yet the Guardians just keep
I
going.
have never seen anything like this in baseball, where an organization consistently over a long period of time is the top of the league, the top 5 in developing one part of the game and bottom 5 in
Yeah.
the other. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen that before.
Just imagine if they were just middle of the road. Just give them middle of the road offense.
Well,
what,
that's
what they could do with this
we were
team.
talking about that earlier in the summer. For as much as they like to stay internal with everything, it's time to go to the Dodgers and find a hitting guru,
Right.
or,
Yeah.
or overhaul the hitting side of things.
Yeah.
By going to the Dodgers or
Some-
even Tampa. Go somewhere that is having success developing hitters. And figure out what they're doing and try and bring that secret sauce here.
Man,
Yeah,
Nuggets, what is
Cabanero and Yandy would look good in Guardians.
What is,
uniform.
what is the
My God.
percentage chance that they make the playoffs? Is that out yet?
It's got to be like
It's up into the,
15%.
I think it's higher than that now.
Oh.
I mean, at 2.5 games out,
I'd put them. I don't know at the exact. I'd put them around 20.
I would say 25.
Yeah.
And you know what I would factor into that is how they've been playing. I think you've got to.
But
take
they
that
have a
into
tough
account.
schedule.
According
Yeah, but
to
right, but Jay, the problem is Texas and Seattle playing just as well.
Yeah.
according
That's
to
the problem with
Fangraphs-
having so many teams in that mix.
Yeah. What's that?
But they've got
According to
3 with Texas.
And, go ahead, Mike.
According to Fangraphs,
Yeah.
which does have the make playoff percentage, the Guardians are at 11.5%.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's way
Lower than
Whoa, I thought it
You know
was
what
up
they-
25.
Here's what they don't take into account. They're just doing a formula of
Sure,
they're,
winning
they're not taking into
percentages
account
and-
how they're playing. They're not taking.
I don't know that
all
they're
of
not
that
taking
into
into
account. They
account.
don't. I mean, ESPN didn't with theirs.
They're
with
doing,
their playoff
winning
projections.
percentages, winning percentage of
Right,
your
but again,
opponents.
the Mariners and Rangers are playing just as well, and they've got to pass at least one of those teams.
Yeah, but all they can do, and when they factor that in, is they can look at who you play.
Right.
And obviously, if you're playing all bottom feeders, that's going to increase your percentage. But there's no place in this formula for the fact that you've won 9 of 10 and that your pitchers are all hitting. You know, they're hitting
Right,
on
but I'm
all their
saying the
pitching
Rangers
cylinders.
and Mariners have also won 9 of 10.
Sure, right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I think,
that wouldn't matter being hot. That's why.
yeah, it would. It still matters. I mean, they're
no,
not.
but you're
they're not-
saying it's not being factored in, but it's also not being factored in for Texas and Seattle.
No, exactly. It's
Yeah,
not. No,
yeah.
I'll agree with that. There's no place in the formula for what they're currently doing. And by the way, it's probably appropriate that there's not, because for every 9 wins in 10 games that the Guardians have played, they've also gone on stretches where they've lost 9 of 10.
Right.
So,
they got what? So 9 of their final 13 are against the Tigers and the Rangers.
Yeah.
And then they
And
have
then Minnesota's in the middle.
4 at Minnesota, which is just a disaster.
You would think you could
Only
get fat
3
on
with
that.
Minnesota?
What's that?
No, I think it's 4.
Well, it's only 3 days. They're not playing a
I
doubleheader.
think there's a doubleheader. Is there a
there's
doubleheader in there
a doubleheader,
somewhere?
yeah.
One
I'll
of these
confirm
is
for you.
because there's 13 games left, right?
Right.
So there's got to be a 4-game series in there somewhere, and I think
right.
it
It
is
is. There's a
Minnesota.
doubleheader with Minnesota.
They had a
on
rain out at
Saturday.
Minnesota
okay.
early in the year that they're going to make up.
All right. Now, Minnesota's terrible.
Yeah.
They are. And,
So
you
you're gonna
should
have
do to Minnesota what you just did to Chicago.
When they had 18 games left, I said they had to go at least 12-6. They have to go better than that because they've won 9 of 10 and they really haven't gained any ground.
Yeah. I know we talked about it upstairs, and I
Yeah.
said they got to go 14-4.
So
That's what I felt at that point.
Okay,
With
so
18
now they
to go,
gotta
had to
go-
go 14-4.
So 14. That was with 18 games. So right now, there's with 13 games left. I
You
think
got
they
to go
got to win
10-4.
at least 10.
10-4.
10-3.
10-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know
10-3.
if that's going to be enough.
It'd be a shame if
That
it's
would be a
not.
shame if they
and,
went
and what it would
88.
really drive home to me is
Yeah.
you were in this thing until the very end with the worst offense I have ever seen in my fandom of being a Cleveland Indians fan, Guardians fan.
I mean, they're-
and it goes back to the 70s when we would lose 100 games routinely, but we always had 3 or 4 sticks in the lineup that were the Andre Thorntons of the 70s. And then even in the early 80s, when you were still awful, you had Joe Carter and Corey Snyder. You had guys. We've got a playoff caliber team with a 29th or 30th ranked offense.
Nah, probably not that bad. But
I don't know,
like
where
25.
are they, Bull?
Well,
Where are we in runs scored? I think we're dead last in the American League.
Colorado and the White Sox don't have they don't even have major league lineups.
No, they don't. I mean,
the Guardians, half of their lineup's not major league either. But
I want to see
Guardians
where
don't
we are.
even have-
In runs scored, we got to be 14th in the American League.
Well, they're not even last in their division, but they are 14th in the American League.
Yeah, well, because Chicago.
No,
So-
the Royals.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The other day I did hear when they were talking about the Royals on the radio, they said the Royals and the Guardians are dead last in the American League in runs scored.
27th overall, Jay.
27th. It's inexcusable.
yeah, ahead of the Rockies, right?
Rockies, the Royals, and
Ahead of the Rockies, the Royals, the Pirates.
Oh, yeah, the
the
Pirates.
Pirates. I forgot about the Pirates.
I think the Pirates are all time. They just stay down there.
Well, the Pirates are a poor man's Guardians. Their pitching's
Yeah,
actually
their pitching's
pretty
pretty good.
Skeens is incredible.
They're
They
a
don't
worse version of
They
the
don't
Guardians.
have a bullpen like
No,
the
but they've got the
Guardians
best pitcher in the group.
do. Oh, Skeens is
clearly.
unbelievable.
Yeah, Skeens is incredible.
Unbelievable. He's
Yeah,
He's
he's
going to win a
fantastic.
Cy